Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Circle of Knowledge podcast. I'm your host, Jon Kovach Jr., and joining me today is none other than our executive, amazing human being, manager, and really the guru of marketing for us here at Champion Circle. And we have learned so much over the year. His name is Coach William Blake, welcoming him to the show. So glad you're here. And I'm actually using a different format today. We were doing some training and we thought, you know what? Hey, let's do a separate recording and let's add some content for the Circle of Knowledge while we're here, while we look nice, while we feel good. And I'm just really, really excited to jump in and talk about this year. I mean, Champion Circle has had so many changes and all for the better. Like we've been adjusting how we increase and improve our accountability program. We've added new members, we've added new events, and we've even done some really cool things that I want to give Willie a chance here to brag about. But before that, I just want to talk first and foremost about accountability. And then I want to talk about how our YouTube channel and some of our trainings and our videos have reached so many people, and they really are inspiring. Like you could, if you're going to doom scroll, go to YouTube and watch our channel, and you'll be so filled with inspiration because of all of our messages are incredible, and they're getting better and better and better with each day. So, anyways, we'll talk about that. And I said doom scroll. Can you believe that? I said doom scroll. Let's call it. Let's call it inspo scroll or something funny like that. But let me ask you first, Willie, how are you today? And by the way, thanks for being on the podcast.
I'm doing fantastic. Like you said, we're all dressed up, making work at the time that we have, and to be able to talk to these champions today, to be able to talk with you and just reminisce back and forth about things that are going on with Champion Circle and the things in our lives, it's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. And we just recently celebrated your 100th episode on your podcast. And I was fortunate and truly honored to be the 100th guest on your show. But 100 episodes on your podcast. Tell us about your podcast, your show, and what it's all about.
Yeah, of course. My podcast is Light Beyond Limits, and it's where we talk about the stories and the breakthroughs that people have had with their limitations and the lessons they learned from it. Hitting episode 100 is incredible. Goodness gracious. I set a goal at the beginning of this year, because I started this back in February, of wanting to hit 100 episodes by the end of the year. And doing calculations, I'm like, if I give myself breathing room, doing 3 episodes every single week will get me to 100. And so 3 episodes consistently every single week. Sometimes I missed it. Sometimes it was just 2. But that consistency got me to then being able to interview you. And we were just able to hit episode 100 just a couple weeks back. So it's incredible. And to be able to have a podcast where it's not just me talking, because a lot of the episodes are, but it's also I bring people on who have achieved things through their challenges. And that's really what I love talking about, because a lot in the world, especially with dyslexia and learning disabilities and difficulties and such, I've realized that there are so many professionals out there who talk about information, most of what you can find on Google. But they talk about this information, they give the information, you can get diagnosed with this and diagnosed with that. But then what do you do afterwards? There's not much to do. And especially with adults, like kids have so many resources to be able to get diagnosed with their learning disabilities and things like that. As an adult, unless you take the initiative and go out, there's not many things out there. You can go to a psychiatrist to be able to get diagnosed and things like that. But other than that, like the ability to help in your career, help in your family and your relationships, with your finances, with your health, spirituality, being social, like there's so many different things that go into life as an adult that really you can't find on Google. You just can't find it on Google. There's so much information out there, but because there's so much information, there's no power in it. And so being able to take individuals who have taken their challenge, overcome it as much as you can, some are just lifetime things you have to deal with, overcome it to whatever degree that is, and use it as your advantage. And when you use it as your advantage, then you start going and achieving things. Like myself, reading, writing, and speaking were the hardest things. And now I'm a best-selling author, I'm an award-winning speaker, and I read 50, 60 plus books a year. And that was all from small, consistent steps to get there. And there are so many more examples out there of people who have found their voice, found their story, and just owned the stage that they were on. So I love bringing those people in on my podcast, love talking with them. Jon, you are absolutely one of those individuals. And it's just been a great time hitting episode 100.
It's such an incredible achievement. I mean, 100 episodes in a year. You started in February, so you're like, you know what? Let's take a month off. January's not important, and you're like, just kidding. That's not what you said. And wow, and you just made the calculation, and then not only that, but we hit that 100th episode like a month ago. Like you interviewed me a while back, and then you released it recently, and so I'm just so impressed because, and I told this to you, Willie, in I think a conversation at one of our meetings, but for my audience, William is the kind of person that does what he says he's going to do. He puts his nose to the grindstone, shoulder to the wheel, all in, and he goes about it. And whether it takes him an entire year, a decade, or a couple weeks or days or even hours, like he does what he says he's going to do. And he emulates exactly what we teach, preach, and train here at Champion Circle. I mean, you're ultimately the image of what we want all of our members and all of our champions to become. Someone who looks at their goals, looks at their aspirations, and says, okay, I know what I want to do. I need to create a plan and a strategy or a technique to do weekly or daily or hourly or whatever it might be to plan out how I'm going to do this. And for something as measurable as 100 episodes on a podcast, all Willie had to do was decide which days of the week I'm doing it, how often I would do it, and what they would consist of. And then he would go into the planning of inviting people to be on the show and scheduling them into his calendar, and then applying what he said he was going to do. And by making that plan, I mean, that is what Napoleon Hill teaches in Think and Grow Rich. He has the statement of desire. And in this case, Willie's desire was, I would like to film and be on 100 plus stages. And amongst those stages are 100 episodes of my podcast. And to get there, I need to schedule those out. And to get there, I need to invite people to be on the podcast. And there, I got to show up regularly, not miss a day, be on time, be on track. And that's it. And you did it. And so I've got to ask you, Willie, how has accountability helped you in the process of achieving these goals? Not just the podcast, but the other things you've been working on and achieving this year. But how's accountability helped you?
Yeah. I think that without accountability, it wouldn't have happened. Because accountability can go into several different things. It can go into an accountability partner, a one-on-one with an individual, like a coach or a mentor. It goes into a group of people, like at Champion Circle, a group of champions who are like-minded, trying to achieve their goals that they're working on. But then there's also the integrity side of being accountable for yourself, of what you say is what you do. And a lot of times I've found, and especially in my life over the last couple of years, I found that in those moments to where I am by myself, it is a lot harder to push forward and get it done because I'm the only one keeping myself accountable. I'm the only one who knows about it. So it's without accountability, it just doesn't work. And I had all three of those. Jon, you talk about accountability a lot, and for those three are pillars. They're beacons. They're things that helped me. The community. With Champion Circle and the community with, I get on a morning call with a group of friends of mine, and every weekday we get on a call, 7 o'clock in the morning. We show up, we tell each other what we're going to do that week, what we're going to do that day, set rewards and consequences, and then move forward throughout the day. And from that, it's helped me to lose 30 pounds this year. It's helped me to get the 100th episode out. It's helped me to create the stages that I want to hit. Was aiming for 120, flew past that, and now I'm trying to hit 200 by the end of the year. And so the group accountability's helped. And then individuals like yourself, Marianne Hickman, who have definitely helped me with individual kind of more one-on-one, has done tremendous help. Because I found that when it comes to people that you are taking advice from, if they don't have the life that you want, why the heck are you taking their advice? And of course, they could have parts of their life that are working, but you always got to take that with a grain of salt. Because if one part of life's not working, but all the rest of them aren't, is that really something you want to focus on. And so finding individuals like you and like Marianne and like other mentors that I have who have done the things that I want has also helped me push forward. And then the last thing with personal accountability, it's helped me be more bold. It's helped me create the excuse me, getting over a cold as my voice is nice and raspy. As I work, as the things that I say I'm going to do, I tell myself I have to do them. And then if I don't want to do it, I've learned to say no. And I think that's the more integratable I've become, the more I'm saying no to other people. Because I don't want to say yes and promise something to then break the promise later. It's more valuable to me to say no up front and keep that relationship. No, have them know that if I say no, I just don't have time for it. But if I say yes, I'm going to do it. Or rather keep that than just be like, oh yeah, I'm that yes man. I'll do everything that you want me to do. To then hit the point of when the deadline comes, you're like, please, I need to push it off a little further. Can we reschedule the phone call? Can we reschedule the recording of the podcast to where then it doesn't happen? It's a broken relationship. People start ghosting you and the whole spiral that happens. So yeah, with accountability, goodness gracious, without it, I'd be at the same place where I'd be before. Whether that's better or good, who knows? But I know I'm enjoying the life right now with it, and so that's what I focus on.
Man, I'm so glad you shared all of that because, I was once approached by a mother whose son was an athlete that I was coaching when I was coaching track and field. And she approached me with something I had never really dealt with before. It caught me off guard. And she asked me the question, Coach, how do I get my son more motivated? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, he's not motivated at practice. He's not motivated in school. He's not really motivated in life. Like, how do I get my kid motivated? And I said to her, this might be a weird answer, and I don't know what you're looking for, but my reaction is kid does not need motivation. In fact, what is he motivated to do? Well, he's motivated to do something every day. He gets out of bed. He plays video games. He does something. So there's motivation to do things. And I can guarantee you he is motivated, but he's just motivated to do the things that he wants or to fill his time with the things that he can control. So I told this lady, I said, I don't think he needs motivation. I think he needs discipline. And I'll tell you that word with the new generation of children, discipline. Oh my gosh, she like raised an eyebrow, like, I'm not gonna discipline my kid. Like it was so interesting to see the reaction. I said, look, discipline is all about commitment. And I teach that when you say you're gonna do something, that's integrity. And integrity is something that you can have, you can lose it, you can gain it back. It's something that you have with you all the time if you use it right. And it's incredible. So this lady was, taken aback, but I did notice that this kid throughout the season started to show up to practice a little bit more, willing to participate, willing to give a bit of effort. And I don't know what it was, but something changed in him. That motivation changed because he was being disciplined in his actions. He actually figured out that if he wanted something, he had to go out and get it. And to be disciplined, those created the actions. And what you were saying, Willie, is there are elements to this. We created the irrefutable laws of high performance as a methodology or really just a stepstone for helping people achieve their goals. And number one is you have to have a personal accountability system. You've got to be integritous with who you are, what you say you're going to do, and what you want to be. And then moving forward, then you have the responsibility of including accountability partners, buddies, and then you take on a coach here at Champion Circle where we coach you through your goals and we walk you through your 90-day sprint goals, your monthly declarations and weekly achievements and really your high priority tasks, and we help you get there by reverse engineering your goal, looking through it, making a plan, following Napoleon Hill's statement of desire sequence, and then truly using this community because you surround yourself with the right people. This athlete, this kid in this example, he really did want to accomplish a lot. He did want to run faster, jump higher, and do all of the things, but he didn't really make a plan to do it, and therefore he was unmotivated. But as soon as he realized, now I have a plan, now I can see what happens, I have discipline to do it. And all I know is if I do this every single day, if I show up, if I work harder, all of a sudden I start achieving things I never thought I could achieve before. So I appreciate that. And last thing I want to talk about and ask you, Willie, is, we at Champion Circle have provided resources. We want to be a foundation for people to be able to get motivated, but to develop the discipline, to know exactly what they feel and need to do and develop a plan. And you need that. You need that to fuel you so that you can achieve your goals. And you have labored so hard this year creating a YouTube channel for Champion Circle. And we've come together every week as an executive team and talked about how to improve, how to grow, how to reach more people. And 50,000 views and engagements and interactions and whatever other statistics you would call them later. In 1 year, we've grown this channel, hundreds of videos, trainings, and awesome things for people. I just want to pass the baton over to you and ask you, tell us about our YouTube channel, but also what are you proud of? What does this channel mean to you, and what is it an opportunity for people who choose to come to our YouTube channel and learn and consume?
I would love to share with you guys about the YouTube channel. It's really cool because we've had it for a few years now. The channel's been up, but we haven't been doing it since the beginning of this year. And so from the beginning of this year, we started out with just I think it was a dozen or maybe 14 subscribers that we had in the beginning. And then through different 30-day challenges that we did of putting out 2 shorts every single day, to having a short and a long form, to putting out more long form content for the viewers who want to watch more, and then getting more motivational type shorts to be able to pump people up in their times of, I need retrospection, introspection, and I want to get motivated. Just over the course, so many videos. I think we're up to almost 300, if we haven't passed 300 videos for this year alone. And so it's been really cool to see that from those 14, now we flew past 100 a couple months back, and it's been really cool to celebrate. Go 100, hundreds is great. Celebrate that 100 milestone and continue forward helping individuals. And there's always a plan when you go into something. We want our YouTube channel to be the place for people to go and to, one, feel motivated in the short term to start getting their goals, because just like you said, John, discipline is where it's at, and as well as be able to find a place to get educational content. For where, if you're in the situation to where you need to surround yourself more by inspiring people, more by individuals who are actually achieving things, who are being champions in their own lives, because right now you're in a situation to where it's toxic, where it's negative, to where you have no hope, have no desire to move forward. We want to be that channel for you. We want to be able to show you the tips and tricks that have worked for us and that can hopefully work for you. We want to share the golden nuggets that we learn every single day. And we want to show you guys that through accountability, through coaching, through being able to accelerate your results, that you are able to achieve what you want. And it just takes a few steps to get there. So I love our YouTube channel. John, you and I both have the thing where it's just if you haven't watched our YouTube channel at least 3 times a day, what are you doing with our life? And so I reiterate that to everyone. If you aren't watching our YouTube channels at least 3 times a day, what the heck are you doing with your life, right? Just goodness gracious. I'm so proud of it. And I have another lesson, but I want to turn it over to you quick with your thoughts.
Absolutely, and I'd love to hear your lesson. I couldn't agree more. If you don't watch the Champion Circle YouTube channel at least 3 times a day, what the heck are you doing with your life? We say this almost every day because there's so much value. I went the other day. I found myself on TikTok and I was just scrolling, and I wasn't satisfied with the content I was seeing. I was like, how did I get into this weird talk of things videos on my For You page? So I was like, you know what? I know how to break this. And I literally shut down the app, went over to YouTube, clicked on the Champion Circle icon, And then I started watching all of our shorts. And about 15 minutes later, I was like, I'm good. I don't actually need to watch anymore right now. I'm feeling inspired. I'm feeling uplifted. And I went along with my day and I actually had a much more focused day. Not that I'm saying that this is what's going to happen for you. And I'm not like self promoting. I'm just telling you a story about what happened to me. But man, it has definitely become helpful to surround yourself with the environment, the disciplines, and the information that are going to push you towards action. And that is what it did for me. And so this being sort of my test theory, we tell people that as a champions learn every single day. And we created an acronym out of LEARN, LEARN. I'm so glad I spelt that right. And LEARN stands for listen to positive audios every day. Doesn't matter how long, could be one, could be 20. If you come to our channel, you can watch as many as you want and listen as many as you want. E stands for engage. Engage with your accountability partner. Hit them up, send them a message, talk to them every single day. A stands for action. Literally, take a look at your goal and see what is my plan today to take action towards my goal. R stands for read. You've got to read. Okay, whether it's 10 pages, 10 minutes, or 10 words, read every single day. And the last one is nurture. You got to nurture your life, body, soul, mind. Okay, and you do that through whatever it is that you need to do. For example, my wife and I are on a diet right now. I'm sort of on an exercise plan. She's on a diet. I'm doing the diet with her, and we're nurturing our body. I like to do prayer and meditation every morning. Two things I do. As a champion, I do breathing exercises. Those are part of my regiment to keep myself nurtured and high spirited. And if you want to ask, like, John, where do you get all your energy and how do you stay so positive all the time? That's it. It's my miracle. I follow the Miracle Morning Pathway, written by Hal Elrod. So there's just some great things in there. But anyways, learn every single day. You had one more teaching moment you wanted to share, Willie. I'll pass it back to you because I'm so grateful and proud of what the YouTube channel has done for me personally as the creator and the CEO of this company, but also just how surprisingly it has uplifted my spirits and has given me motivation to actually take action, not motivation to just move. And I think that's important.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of what the lesson is on. It's about movement. So sure, we'll use this. So this is a wonderful dragon that I got.
Cool.
And what I'm going to do is use it as a pendulum, right? So back and forth, back and forth. So if you imagine John, you are getting sleepy. So if you imagine the back and forth, on one side is good things in life. I guess my video's reversed. So this is the bad side. So the bad side, this is the worst of the worst. This is scraping of the barrel. This is like, if nothing happens, you're just done for, right? That's what, like, this is the bad scenario. And then on the other side is the great things. This is where you have financial independence. This is where you are achieving your goals. This is where you are taking the steps and you are actually getting the results that you want. And so we have this like pendulum side to side. A lot of people are sitting down here. So if you imagine, John, you're getting sleepy. No. So if you imagine at the bottom of the pendulum, people are stuck here. They're stuck at the bottom. And this is what we call comfortably numb, because their life isn't great. It's decent, but it's also not bad. And so they're just sitting here and life is okay. They don't need a promotion. They don't need an extra income source or a side business to help out. They don't need a better relationship with their spouse because it's doing all right. Like they're comfortably numb here. A lot of people who are here are just like, well, if I want to be great, I gotta urge myself to, I gotta get motivated to be able to get up here. And for a lot of people, that doesn't work. And I'd say, I'll go on the limb here and say for most people, 99% it doesn't work. And so they stay in this comfortably numb spot. What a lot of people don't realize is that if you want the momentum, and that's a key word when talking about movement, if you want the momentum to be able to get up to where you need to go, sometimes, and maybe even most times, you need to put yourself in a worse situation to then swing back and reach the goal you're aiming towards. So if you're sitting here and you're trying to use all your energy and time to get up there, but you're still that comfortably numb, sometimes you need to put yourself in a worse situation. Maybe this is putting all the cash that you have in stocks, things that are untouchable, that you don't have liquidated, to where then you're in a worse situation and you don't know where the next bill is going to come in and how much it's going to be for. But you know you need to earn money because you know it's going to come in. You're making yourself a little bit worse, not harming yourself. That's not what we're talking about, but putting yourself in a situation to where you have to take action. And so now that it's in a little bit worse and you have to take action, then you start taking the steps necessary to get there. You start you stop bull crapping yourself, and my Mormon language. You stop doing the things that are distracting you and procrastinating on, and you do the right things, and then you're able to swing forward into those results, those great things that you were wanting to achieve. So that's a lesson I wanted to share, because I've learned that recently, that sometimes we need to put ourselves in a worse situation to get our butts out of the seat and get a fire going to be able to actually achieve what we're wanting to achieve.
Man, what a great visual. Thank you. You got me thinking with the pendulum. You look at a playground and you see a swing, right? And I asked myself the question while you were sharing that, does a swing without the momentum? And no, I mean, you could say, yeah, wind comes through, but let's talk about this principle. Does a swing without its momentum? An object in motion will remain in motion until interacted by another object or a force, right? And so literally on a swing, in order to go high or in order to go far, you have to swing in both directions. You have to do the negative and you have to swing through the positive. And you can't get to the positive without the negative. Therefore, you must put yourself backwards in order to go forward. Thank you for that visual. And that makes so much sense, both at a metaphysical perspective as well as an analytical perspective. Go ahead.
Yeah, an example I thought that's a lot more real-minded is if any of you have had to push a car out of a hole. Like if you get stuck in the mud and you have to push your car, you try pushing forward, can't get it. Try pushing forward even harder and can't get it. And then most of the time, what do? You push the car backwards to then get momentum to then push forward to get over that hump, to get out of that rut. And especially when winter season's coming, this is going to be a lot more prevalent. A lot of times you got to push back. You got to pull back from where you are and take that step back in order to then start running forward.
Man, I love these. I love these visuals. They're so poignant to success. And so with all that, I just want to say thank you, Willie, for an entire year of awesomeness. Thank you for contributing and sharing so much with so many people. And while it might be, a small YouTube channel, we have reached so many people, and it's something that we're continuing to perform, and you'll see this episode on our YouTube channel. So many other great things for other people, and I'm just proud of the work we're doing. We truly are on a mission to build something that will outlive us, and that is our mission here at Champion Circles, to help thousands and thousands of people to achieve their goals by setting them and following through on them and using accountability to accomplish those goals. And then we are enabling a community of achievers to overcome their greatest challenges. And I couldn't thank you enough, because you're not only a leader in this community, but you're an example, and your experiences, your wisdom, and also our failures as a collective are great examples of how we are involved in the day-to-day operations and process of this methodology. And I couldn't have done it without my team. I couldn't have done it without anyone, because I truly have the desire to achieve great things, but I do it because other people are around me. I do it because my integrity is built on the fact that I know that if I do stuff, that I will be somebody that people will look up to and say, Jon does what he will do. And I couldn't do that if there were no people. I do that because of other people. It's a platform. It's a foundation, and it's a way of life. So Champion Circle, if you haven't joined, if you haven't come to our YouTube channel and watched it 3 times a day, what are you actually doing with your life? We want you here. Join this community, be a part of what we're up to. And we're ready for a whole nother year of amazing accountability. And if you haven't experienced our accountability program, you'll be enlightened by how poignant and how focused it is to help you achieve your goals. So hit us up, come to one of our roundtable events, episodes, and you'll learn a lot more, and you'll get involved in our community. And hey, by the way, if anything, if this helps you achieve one goal that's been sitting there on the shelf for years, consider it done. We're all in to help you achieve that. All right. Willie, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate you joining me on the Circle of Knowledge podcast. Look forward to another year of amazing content. Also, go check out our other podcast, the Champion Reads podcast, where we review best-selling books each week. And really, rather than it being a review, it's more like a book talk. Like, we just get in there and we just get off on topic on discussions about things we're learning when we're reading it. And it's amazing, super and highly entertaining, as well as a really great way to say, hey, I got 30 minutes to learn about a book that I haven't read yet. And there's multiple episodes, so I can really dive deep into the concepts and decide for myself if I want to pick that book up and learn from it as well. It's a great podcast. And of course, go check out William Blake's podcast, and you'll learn a lot there, and you'll really be part of that community where he's truly shining light on so many people. So I just wanted to say thank you for your time, and this concludes our episode of the Circle of Knowledge podcast.